I always noticed the lilies. White, delicate, too fragrant, they arrived every Friday evening, never by my hand. The first time I asked Anna, she smiled. "From your mother," she said, brushing her dark hair behind her ear. My mother had been dead 5 years. I didn't press her. That was my mistake. I never pressed her. Our house sat on a quiet corner of Crestfall Avenue, wrapped in ivy, with windows too clean and floors too polished. Perfect. Everything too perfect. I'd come home from long days at the firm, suits wrinkled, voice hoarse, spine bent, and she'd greet me barefoot, laughter in her throat, wine in her hands, lips glossed like anticipation. She kissed me as though she missed me. That was the second mistake. I believed her. The third mistake was letting the party happen. Anna loved guests. People made her come alive. She glowed in a crowd. The way her eyes shifted subtly depending on who spoke. The way she remembered every detail about someone, how their dog died, what their favorite scotch was, whether they hated olive. She made everyone feel seen. But I was starting to feel invisible. She had organized this one a week in advance. A casual Saturday night thing. I didn't recognize half the names on her list. Friends from the yoga studio. Colleagues from her interior design firm. That was the fourth mistake. Assuming colleague meant nothing more than desks and deadlines. I stood in the kitchen slicing lemons for her drink tray. Gin. Tonic. Mint leaves. She said it made her feel light. I felt heavy. Laughter poured in from the living room. Female voices, high and fast. Male chuckles, deeper, more deliberate. I heard her specific cadence, laughing in a way she hadn't laughed with me in months. I turned off the sink and walked in. She sat cross-legged on the edge of the velvet couch, between two men. One older, bald, tight suit. The other, him. He wasn't remarkable at first glance. Average height. Slight beard. Confident posture. Brown leather shoes that didn't squeak. But something in the way he leaned toward her, the way his knee brushed her calf, the way her eyes flinched before they landed on me, it all made my stomach knot. He said his name was Grant. Grant teaches sculpture, Anna said, too quickly, too brightly. Remember I told you about him? From the studio. I nodded, though she hadn't. At least not in any way that made me remember. Grant smiled. Anna says you're some legal wizard. Criminal defense. Litigation, I answered. Commercial stuff. Very boring. He raised his drink. Boring men keep the world from burning. She laughed again. He winked. My hand gripped the rim of my glass tighter. Later that night, long after the guests had left and the dishwasher hummed in the dark, she slid beside me on the bed in nothing but one of my old shirts. Her skin smelled like lavender and a hint of musk that didn't belong to her. I didn't say anything. She kissed my shoulder and whispered, "You okay? Long day." She nodded and curled into me. But I stared at the ceiling for hours, tracing cracks that weren't there. The next week, the lilies came again. The card this time was blank. I didn't ask. Instead, I started noticing patterns. She left earlier in the mornings. Came back later. Her phone, once left casually on kitchen counters, now lived in her purse. I tested her once. Asked to borrow it because mine had died. Her face changed for a half-second before she smiled and handed it over. Empty messages. Recent calls. Just me, her mother, a few clients. Nothing damning. But too clean. She started humming again. She hadn't done that in a year. Little French tunes she didn't understand. While making coffee. Folding towels. Singing is dangerous in a marriage. Too much joy not shared is a red flag. 2 Thursdays after the party, I came home early. Court adjourned sooner than expected, and I thought I'd surprise her. I didn't call. Just walked through the front door with a bottle of wine. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I heard water upstairs. I padded up slowly, floorboards creaking like confessions. Our bedroom door was closed, but not fully. I pushed it gently. She stood by the window, phone to her ear, barefoot, one hand tangled in her hair. She wore the red robe, the one she said she hated but kept anyway. No, baby, not tonight, she was saying, voice low. He's home early now. Suspicious. My lungs stopped working. She laughed. You're cute when you get jealous. I backed away before she noticed, heart thundering. I didn't drink the wine. I went back out, sat in the car, drove around for an hour. When I returned, she was downstairs lighting candles. Did you get my message? She asked, too sweet. Dinner's almost ready. I nodded, kissed her cheek. Smelled aftershave that wasn't mine. The days became weak. The lies piled like laundry. I tried confronting her once. Asked if she felt distant. She tilted her head, frowned. Work's been insane, she said. Are you okay? You've been quiet. Quiet, yes. Quiet like a knife pressed to its sheath, waiting. I started tracking her. I know that sounds dramatic, but the truth doesn't always wear moderation. I didn't hire anyone. Just followed her one rainy Wednesday when she said she had a late consult in Midtown. I tailed her in my brother's car. She didn't notice. She went to a hotel. The kind with gold trim and valets that don't ask questions. She didn't look around. Just walked in like she belonged. 10 minutes later, Grant appeared. Smiling. Confident. He didn't look over his shoulder either. I parked across the street. Waited. They stayed for an hour and 12 minutes. She came out laughing. His hand was on her lower back. She kissed his cheek before walking away. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw punches or smash glass. I drove home. That night, she asked if I wanted to try the new Thai place on 7th. I said yes. Ordered curry. Ate it all. Told her it was delicious. She smiled and called me the best husband ever. She didn't know I had her hotel receipt in my jacket pocket. Now I had a choice. Confrontation? Divorce? Revenge? No. None of those. I decided I'd play her game. Play it better. After I learned the truth, the world became quieter. Phil. Like the moments before a thunderstorm, charged, expectant. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger had sharp edges, noise. This was smoother. Like silk, or maybe poison. She didn't know I'd seen her. Watched her. She moved through our house like nothing had changed, completely unaware that I now existed in another world, observing instead of participating. Studying her. Waiting. I began keeping note. Every touch, every unexplained absence, each phone call she took in the bathroom. I wrote it all in a small leather journal tucked in my office drawer beneath an used checkbook. I gave everything a title: Lipstick Monday, Phantom Perfume, Orange Button Left Unfastened. It read like a collection of tiny betrayals dressed in poetry. The part of me that once needed love had died quietly the moment I saw her kiss Grant's cheek like it was owed. Now I craved precision. Control. I started texting her during her meetings. Me, thinking of you. Her, you're so sweet. Can't wait to get home. I imagined her reading it naked, beside him, curled into whatever lie they whispered into each other's skin. I waited. Friday morning, lilies again. This time, I intercepted them before she came down for coffee. Same blank card. Same ribbon. I set them gently on the porch, let the rain soak them until they drooped like wilted confessions. That night, while she laughed with her friends in the living room, I sat at the edge of the hallway, out of view. I listened. She thinks he doesn't know, one voice said, high-pitched, cruel. Probably Lena. It's almost impressive. Oh, please, another chimed in. She's too good. If he suspects anything, he's pretending. Men like that, safe, boring, blind. I'd sleep with a boring man too if he paid my rent, Lena laughed. Silence. Then Anna's voice, soft, almost apologetic. It's not about the money. He's reliable. He was there when my father died, when my business failed, when I lost the baby. A pause thickened the air. They didn't know I was listening. I loved him once, Anna continued. Still do, maybe. But I need something different now. I don't know. Grant makes me feel seen. My knuckles whitened around the doorframe. Seen. I had spent years seeing her, Every scar, every victory, every fear she didn't say out loud. I'd watched her build herself from nothing. Stood by while she cried over designs clients rejected, toasted her first published feature, held her hair while she vomited after too much wine. I loved her in silence and sound. But now, someone else saw her? I wanted to scream. Instead, I smiled. They left after midnight. She came to bed, cheeks flushed with wine, smelling of rose water and deceit. I held her that night, tighter than I had in months. I love you, she whispered. I know, I replied. That weekend, I invited Grant over. Poker night, I said. Just a few guys. Old tradition. She blinked, surprised. Really? I thought you hated poker. I do, I smiled. But I figured we could all connect. Since we're friends now. She hesitated, then nodded. He might be busy, but I'll ask. He wasn't busy. He arrived wearing a denim jacket, cologne too loud, and that smirk that made me want to rearrange his teeth. I shook his hand longer than necessary. Poker night consisted of me, Grant, 2 neighbors, and my colleague Reuben, who hated small talk and loved whiskey. We played low stakes. Nothing serious. Except everything was serious. I watched the way Grant eyed Anna when she brought in drinks. How his eyes lingered a second too long on her hips. She didn't meet his gaze. Too obvious. She played her part well. So, I asked him between hands, seeing anyone? He coughed on his drink, laughed. Not seriously. Reuben smirked. Funny, I said. Anna said you were head over heels for someone. Grant shrugged, eyes dancing. Maybe. You never know, right? Oh, I know, I said, placing a winning hand on the table. You'd be surprised what people confess without meaning to. He looked at me then. Directly. For the first time, no smirk. Just a flicker of recognition. I saw it, that moment when the mask slipped. He didn't know what I knew. But he sensed it. Anna cleaned glasses in the kitchen afterward. I stood beside her. Nice guy, I said. She nodded. He's sweet. You think he likes you? She froze for a second, then laughed. Don't be ridiculous. I'm serious. She looked at me. I'm married. I leaned in, kissed her cheek. Yes, you are. That night, I lay awake while she slept. Her breath soft. Arm across my chest like a claim. I needed more. I started tracking Grant. Simple stuff at first. Social media. Studio website. Showings. Where he taught, who he taught. He had no idea how easy it was to find everything. He was just another arrogant man with a god complex and no passwords on his phone. One day, while Anna ran errands, I slipped into her office. She never locked it. I opened her laptop. Emails. Photos. In a hidden folder named Consult Clients, I found hotel bookings. Reservations. A photo, her in black lace, mirror selfie, half her face cropped out. The email read, "Wear nothing underneath. Don't be late. G." I printed it, folded it, tucked it in my suit pocket. Later that night, I cooked. Steak. Potatoes. Her favorite read. "Why the fancy dinner?" she asked, entering in soft cotton and confusion. "No reason. Just love you." She kissed me. "You're being sweet lately." "I've always been sweet." She laughed. "Yes, but now you're remembering how to cook." I poured the wine. "To us." She clinked her glass, smiled, drank. Then I pulled the note from my pocket and placed it by her plate. She stared. "Open it," I said. Her fingers trembled. The paper unfolded. Her face changed color 3 times. White, then red, then something between shame and anger. "I found it in your email." Silence. She opened her mouth, closed it. Finally, "It's not what it looks like." I laughed. "It's exactly what it looks like," I said. "I just wanted to see how far it went." Her voice cracked. "Please, let me explain." "No." I stood. "You don't get to explain." "Not yet." She looked like a child, lost, panicked, broken. "I love you," she said. "No," I replied, calm. "You love the version of me that didn't see." She reached out. I stepped back. This isn't over, she whispered. I nodded. Not by a long shot. That night, I didn't sleep in our bed. I slept in the guest room. And I dreamed of her hands on someone else, her lips on lies, her secrets unraveling thread by thread. But mostly, I dreamed of how I'd end it. Not loud, not violent, not sudden, but devastating and complete. They say the loudest heartbreaks come in silence. That week, Anna and I became shadows. We shared a house, air, cutlery, but no words. She still played her part, smiling in the mornings, pecking my cheek before work, texting in emojis. I responded in kind, never cold, just distant. That's the trick. You never let them feel the temperature drop. You let them sweat in their own heat. She never asked if I had read more of her messages. I had. All of them. Still him. I asked one evening without turning from my laptop. She paused in the doorway, tray in hand. I told him it's over. Was that before or after lunch at the Fairmont? She didn't reply. Just turned around, slowly, quietly, like she was disappearing inch by inch. I started recording everything. I installed a discreet camera above the bookshelf, hidden in a carved elephant figurine her sister brought from Goa. One in the garage. One behind the mirror in the hallway. Nothing fancy. Just enough. She noticed the elephant had moved slightly. Did you clean in here? She asked, frowning. Dusted, I said. Thought it was getting dull. She mumbled. Anna wasn't stupid. But she was careless. I found her second phone 2 days later. In the back of her makeup drawer, between expired mascara and an old vial of Chanel. Prepaid. Locked. But I had time. I broke into it the same night. Just numbers. No names. Except one labeled A. I dialed. He answered on the second ring. Yeah. I didn't speak. Just listened. Anna. Silence. Anna, he repeated. Hello? I hung up. Then I smiled. The next morning, I left early, pretending to head for a deposition. Instead, I drove to Grant's studio. A loft in Brooklyn, full of bent metal and women in denim. I stood outside for 15 minutes before walking in. He didn't recognize me at first. He had a hammer in one hand, clay under his nails. He looked like a man who believed in chaos as creation. He looked like someone she'd fall for. Edgy, passionate, free. Grant, I said. He turned, eyes narrowing. You're Anna's husband. A pause. Then a nod. I figured. I smiled. Don't worry. I'm not here to fight. Then what do you want? To talk. He laughed once. About what? I stepped closer. About how this ends. Grant looked around. Is this some kind of threat? No, I said. It's a proposal. I laid it out simply. He ends it completely. Disappears. Blocks her. Vanishes. Or I ruin him. I have everything, I said. Photos. Messages. Call logs. Videos. I even know your gallery investor's name. How do you think he'd feel about this? He scoffed, but I saw the tremor in his jaw. You don't scare me. I nodded. Good. That'll make it more fun. Then I left. I didn't hear from Anna that night. But the next morning, she cried at the table over toast. He left me, she whispered. I looked up, pretending to be surprised. Who? Her lips trembled. You know who. I watched her fall apart. Tears she didn't know how to place. Her grief made no sound, just soft, breathless sobs. I loved him, she said. I know that's awful. It is, I said, sipping my coffee. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did. She reached for me. I didn't move. Can we fix this? She asked. I tilted my head. Why now? Because I see what I almost lost. No, I said. You see what rejected you. That silenced her. She left the table. But she didn't leave the house. That night she curled against me. I let her. Not because I forgave her, but because I wanted her to believe I had. We made love for the first time in weeks. She wept after. I want us again, she said. You don't know what you want, I whispered. But I held her. Because I was building something. Not revenge. Not closure. A stage. 2 weeks passed. Things settled. She grew soft again. Kind. Made little jokes. Sent texts with hearts. The wife I married returned, but I didn't trust her. I trusted her need. One morning, while she showered, her phone buzzed. A new number. Message preview. Why'd you let him scare you off? I miss you. Grant. I copied the number. Texted him from an anonymous app later that day. Me, she's falling again. Wait for my signal. Grant, who is this? Me, a friend. Be ready. I wanted him back in play. Not for her. For the finale. A week later, I told Anna we needed a reset. A weekend away, I said. Just us. She lit up. Really? Somewhere quiet. Upstate. She beamed. I'll plan it, she said. No, I smiled. Let me. We drove out Friday afternoon. Leaves blushing along the highway, sky crisp, wind humming through half-open windows. She sang a little. I watched her from the corner of my eye. I had reserved a small cabin, cozy, antique, nestled in woods. Secluded. No neighbors. No cell service. She didn't ask questions. We unpacked. Drank wine. Ate by the fire. Laughed. She looked at me like maybe, just maybe, she could erase what happened. That night, I lit candles. Played our wedding song on an old speaker. She wore the same silk slip from our honeymoon. I let her think it meant something. When she fell asleep, I stepped outside. Walked into the trees. Grant waited by the fence line. You sure about this? He asked. Yes. You think she'll come? She always comes when she's needed. I handed him a letter. A single instruction. Knock at sunrise. Tell her everything. He frowned. Why? Because she needs to see what it cost. Then I left him there. Morning came. I brewed coffee. She woke to the smell, stretching, smiling, lips ready for forgiveness. Then the knock came. 3 soft taps. She froze. I didn't move. She opened the door. Grant stood there. She gasped. What are you doing here? She whispered. I had to see you. She turned to me. I sipped my coffee. I thought you said it was over, I said. I don't know what this is, she stammered. Grant stepped forward. He sent me. Your husband. What? He told me to come. Said you'd come back to me. She turned pale. I rose slowly. Walked over. Put the letter in her hand. Her fingers shook as she unfolded it. It wasn't addressed to Grant. It was for her. This is the cost of lies. This is the man you wanted. This is the truth you chased. Welcome home. She read it twice. Then again. Then she looked up, tears, disbelief, betrayal, confusion, layered across her face. I don't understand, she said. That makes 2 of us, I replied. Or maybe just 1. Grant stepped back. I'm sorry, he said to her. And he meant it. She collapsed into the chair. You played us, she whispered. No, I said. You played me. I just learned the rules. Morning ended with Grant gone, the door still half open, and Anna curled on the floor like grief itself. She didn't speak. Her hair was tangled. Eyes red, rimmed with the kind of tears that don't fall anymore. They just live there, in silence. I didn't help her up. The sun lit our small rented cabin with an unfair kind of warmth. Birds sang. The wind moved as if nothing had happened. But everything had. After a long while, she stood. You planned this. I said nothing. You used me. Still nothing. I made mistakes, she whispered, stepping forward. But you turned cruelty into art. I met her eyes then. You made your choices. I made mine. She walked past me, toward the bedroom. I watched her move. Every footstep waited, like her bones now remembered every betrayal she had hoped to forget. I packed in silence. Folded her clothes. Laid everything in order, neat, like we weren't just walking away from the most intimate war. On the drive home, we didn't speak. She stared out the window. I kept both hands on the wheel. When we pulled into the driveway, the house felt smaller, colder, like it knew we no longer belonged in it together. She stopped at the front door. I don't know what happens now. I looked at her. You do. You just don't want to admit it. Tears came again. Not like before. These were quiet, honest. No performance. I didn't mean to fall for him, she said. It just happened. Like falling off a cliff? She didn't laugh. I didn't know how to talk to you anymore, she whispered. You became quiet. Disconnected. I stared at her. Because I knew. She shook her head. You didn't say anything. I was watching, I said. Every day. Watching who you were becoming. She opened the door. We stepped inside. Familiar furniture. Familiar scent. But now the space between us was wide enough to drown in. I want to fix it, she said, turning to face me. Please. Let's go to therapy. Counseling. Whatever it takes. I studied her then. Not the woman who cheated. Not the liar. Just Anna. The girl I married. The woman who once touched my chest and whispered that she loved my silence because it made her feel safe. The same woman who now begged for words to fix what she'd shattered. I don't want to fix it, I said calmly. I want peace. And you're not part of it anymore. She collapsed onto the couch. I went upstairs. 2 hours later, I returned with 2 packed bags. One's yours, I said. I booked you a room at the Crescent Inn for a week. After that, I don't care where you go. She looked up, broken, desperate. You don't mean this. I do. What will people think? She asked, absurdly. They'll think we grew apart. And Grant? Gone, I said. He knows the price now. I handed her the keys and envelope with cash. No words. She didn't move. Go, I said. Before I forget how to do this kindly. She left. She didn't slam the door. She didn't scream. She just walked out, shoulders hunched, dragging the suitcase like it weighed her sins. I didn't cry. That night, I opened every window. Let the cold in. I wanted the house to remember what truth felt like. Over the following days, I cleaned her office, deleted her login, canceled her subscriptions, donated half her clothes. I didn't rage. I didn't burn photographs or rip up cards. I just erased her, piece by piece, like deleting old files on a computer that had long since crashed. Neighbors asked questions. She's staying with her sister for now, I told them. Everything okay, they'd ask. Just life, I'd smile. They didn't push. Anna texted, called, emailed. Anna, can we please talk? Anna, you loved me once. Anna, you're being cruel. Anna, he meant nothing. Anna, I miss you. Anna, I'm sorry. I replied once. Me, you don't miss me. You miss being forgiven. She never texted again. Months passed. I found new routines. Saturday mornings with coffee in real silence. No lies clinking around inside cups. Long walks. A gym. Relearning how to breathe without choking on memory. I didn't date. Not yet. But I started dreaming again. Vivid, clean dreams. Not haunted ones. Then, one evening, while walking through the park at dusk, I saw her. Anna. Alone. Sitting on a bench under a flickering lamp. She hadn't seen me yet. Her face looked thinner. Tired. But not ruined. Just lived in. She glanced up. We locked eyes. Neither of us moved. She stood slowly. Walked toward me. You look well, she said. You don't. She smiled. A sad, accepting smile. Fair. Silence. I'm sorry, she said again softly. I nodded. I think of you, she continued. Every day. I dream about how I should have told the truth sooner. You didn't want the truth. You wanted permission. Another pause. Do you hate me? No, I said. I don't think I feel anything anymore. And that, Anna, is what kills you the most. She nodded, eyes glossy. You were the best thing I ever had, she whispered. No, I said. I was the best thing you never understood. Then I turned, walked away. And for the first time in a long while, I didn't look back.